You want to kill me? You fool! You want to kill me?
I didn't touch you.
You want to kill me?
I didn't touch
you.
you.
He touched me.
No, I'm not trying to kill you.
Why'd you touch him, Benny? I saw you.
I didn't touch him.
Yes, you did. I saw you kind of like reaching out with your hand. You were trying to...
Listen, I extended my hand to shake hands with him, okay? I extended my hand, and then I was like, oh, no, it's the new normal, okay? So I went to give the elbow, and our elbows didn't even, they just got this, it just...
Why did you do that, you big fat fool?
Hey!
Why did you want to see me dead?
I didn't touch you. I'm not trying to kill you. Don, I didn't touch you. I didn't touch you. No, I'm not trying to. Oh my, I didn't touch you.
You want to see me dead, don't you?
You know what? Now I'm starting to hate you. I'm starting to hate you. If you don't shut up, I'm gonna touch you. Yes, believe that.
Stupid fool! You lied.
I didn't touch you.
Oh, he hates me.
Any minute now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GubsRadio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like my good friend Ken Pichello, we says, we on TV! And yes, indeed, we are, folks. I'm your host, Don Sill, and this is our big Halloween special. So we have a lot of fun here tonight. We have a lot of good, fun cameos, a lot of guests, including everyone from, where's my list of guests? We have everyone. We have a lot of cameos tonight, including Joe Matarese, Dave Landau, Tom Rhodes, Nigel Fullerton, Mike Bichetti, Stevie GB, Sherry Poland, Jeff Bosey, and of course, the Gagoots. So look, as you can see, I am definitely in the Halloween spirit, looking forward to Saturday and getting my Halloween on. But and I went as Zorro. This is my costume. But I had some other ideas for costumes that I was going to wear. Like at first I wanted to be the Joker. But the Joker wasn't working, so then I said, all right, maybe I could be Hulk Hogan this year. I love Hulk Hogan. Why not be Hulk Hogan?
We've been hanging and banging, brothers.
Then I wanted to be a pirate.
But you have heard of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Can't do.
Why is the rum gone?
Then I said, how about Beetlejuice? Maybe I could be Beetlejuice.
What do you think of this? You like it?
Excuse us, please.
Sure, talk amongst yourselves.
And I was so close, I almost settled on Cardi B.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet and cushy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet and cushy. I'm talking wop.
I have a WAP, you know, and I've been called a WAP a lot of times in my life, and I felt for a minute there I was going to do the whole Cardi B costume, because let's face it, I have a hot body. Let's look at that again.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet and cushy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet and cushy. I'm talking wop.
Speaking of hot bodies in hot, sexy costumes. Here's Renee May and her take on Halloween costumes.
Hi everyone, it's Renee May, Manicures to the Stars on Pasusu with a PSA on Halloween. I am dressed up from that great movie Top Gun. I'm Maverick. I'm a sexy Maverick. Now, it's my favorite holiday. A lot of you probably agree with me. I'm gonna give you the top 5 Halloween costumes, sexy Halloween costumes. Now, yes, you can be sexy every single day of the year, but for some people, they choose to get really hot and toddy on Halloween. So, if you're looking for a hot, sexy costume for Halloween this year, let me give you a few tips. Okay, number 5. If you're gonna come to seduce me, make sure you're in a sexy kilt. And please, if you do the job right, I might give you a trip to Scotland. Number 4, naughty nurse. I'll make sure to give you a shot if you give me a little injection. Number 3, Disney princesses. Hey, listen, prior to Elsa and Anna, they were all kind of slutty. So all you have to do is buy a costume a little small. One of my favorite companies, Legs Avenue. They are amazing. You can pick out from Snow White. Oh, like give me a break. She wasn't giving some. Number 2, Pocahontas. That's right. There's a lot of different variations of Pocahontas, but if you really want to get down and dirty, wear the one that's like a string bikini. Then if you're in a hot climate area, just jump in the pool. And number 1, well, you know what? I'm going to say number 1 and 1.5, because these to me are my 2 favorite for number 1 spot. Tinkerbell. You can ring my bell if you know what I mean, and I'll give you a little fairy dust. It worked on number 3, ex-husband. And number 1, really my number 1, Captain Hooker. You know that famous story of where he was swallowed by that crocodile? Well, it turns out he or she was also very sexy. I've worn that costume before, and I've won number 1. So those are my top 5 or 6 favorite costumes. Please make sure you wrap your candy tight, and make sure you get down tonight. Renee May loves Halloween. Renee May loves Halloween.
Should Halloween be canceled this year because of COVID?
No, come on. Can't they just do it like they used to? I mean, we still do it this way in our neighborhood because our neighborhood sucks for trick-or-treating. It's very Orthodox Jewish in our neighborhood, and Orthodox Jewish people don't celebrate Halloween. So, like, more than half the houses have nobody. They just shut the lights off. They don't answer the doors, and there's no candy there. So my kids go to another neighborhood for trick-or-treating. So we just leave. You do the old school, leave the candy out the front door. Like, you could do that. Every house should just leave it outside.
There you go.
Doesn't even to go out. They don't even knock on the door. I mean, I love Halloween though, because I like looking into other people's houses to see how they decorated it. I'm like, I'll check that shit out. You know, I like that.
That's awesome. When was the last time you dressed up for Halloween, and what were you?
Oh, I know what it was. Oh, but now that I think about it, I don't even think it was Halloween. I think it was my son's birthday. I dressed up like Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
And he was so young then that he was kind of not sure if it was really Wolverine or me, because he saw the beard sticking out of the bottom of the mask, and he was like, and I'm like, no, I'm not your dad. He's like, you're not? And it was so funny at that age where you can trick them. He's like, okay.
What's the scariest movie ever?
The movie that always scared me the most, there were 2 movies I was afraid of growing up, and I don't even think one of them is supposed to be scary, but for some reason it scared me. The Exorcist is, to me, the one I just could never watch it. It just was like, even now, if that came on, I'm like, fuck that, shut this off.
I'm the same way, man.
Don't like that one. But I used to get afraid of this movie called Sybil.
I hate Sybil. I hate her.
Who are you?
I can do anything. I can do anything I want to.
With
Sally Field.
Sally Field, she played multiple personalities. That wasn't even a horror movie. It just scared the fuck out of me. Is that a scary movie?
I don't think it would be under horror, but it is scary. I've seen that movie once in my life, and it was
acting's too good, and you're like,
yeah,
fuck.
she gets in and out of different personalities.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
Next worst thing to be in a first being a talebearer. You tell and I'll fix it so you ain't got nothing to tell.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Wow, oh geez. I gotta go old school Reese's peanut butter cups.
Nice.
My son's got a peanut butter allergy. I feel bad saying that. Can't eat them.
Oh,
My favorite candy could kill my kid. That's good. There's a bit there somewhere.
there is something there.
Stay back. I want to die, but I can't fucking not eat this. There's a bit there.
Are ghosts real, and have you ever seen any?
I totally don't believe in any of that stuff. My wife does, and her and I are complete opposite. I don't believe in it at all. So I'm not afraid of that shit at all either.
Awesome.
Comedy Store, they say, is haunted, right? And now that you say that, if there was any place where I felt a little bit of a weirdness, it was in some of those back rooms at the Comedy Store. If there's anything on it, that's the spot. That's their meeting ground.
It's all those. It's like the Freddie Prinze and thing is floating around in there.
Yeah, there's like a comedy round table, and they're all dead guys hanging.
It seems there's been quite a debate. A lot of people want to keep their children home during the Halloween season. A lot of people say, hey, let's let kids be kids and let's not tamper with the holiday. But we have a breaking news report right now dealing with this very issue. Hello, I'm Jack Mehoff, and this just in on Pasusu Breaking News. Although Governor Cuomo said that he will not ban trick-or-treating and that he would encourage the children to trick-or-treat at their nearest nursing homes. But even though Cuomo supports trick-or-treating, there are still plenty of others who'd rather keep their kids at home and the candy to themselves. We have our expert here to weigh in, Professor Fedora. Hello, and what do you think we should do?
Once, thank you very much, Don Sill. It's great to be back again. Once, there's several reasons why you should be canceling the silly, stupid holiday that was invented by stupid pagan people.
So you believe we should cancel Halloween?
Once, absolutely. I mean, come on, think about it. Once, who do you think was involved on going ahead with the cancellation of Halloween altogether? Once, my very own boss, Donald Trump. Once, come on, his wife said, fuck Christmas.
This is breaking news indeed. Donald Trump has declared that he hates Halloween and hates the children.
And who wants those dirty little germ bags walking around town anyways, if you think about it? I mean, always going around, going door to door, asking for candy. Those dirty, snotty little bastards walking around with their germs and their hands up their nose, just like a Scooby-Doo or a Dolly Parton, or if you're like hooker-like. To think about it, really, I mean, the candy kind of makes them like assholes to begin with.
Yes, candy can certainly make the little ones a little hyperactive. And let's not forget cavities and things along those lines. But what about the safety for COVID? Does that have any issue with your opinion on Halloween, Professor?
Listen, the best safe way to go ahead to go trick-or-treating, it's not to go at all. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to go house to house and pretty much say, trick or COVID?
Trick or COVID?
No, you don't go to the person's house until you say trick or COVID, because what you going to do? You're going to go ahead and you're going to douse it in bleach, and then here you go, here's your Tootsie Roll.
I do see your point, Professor. It can be quite the super spreader situation. Try saying that 3 times fast. Super spreader situation, super spreader situation, super spreader situation, super spreader situation.
You didn't hear that from me because it was not put in my ear by Donald Trump. It's because, listen, nothing can make me go ahead and sway one way or another like that wonderful Barrett person.
What is some of your advice regarding this situation to the parents? Are there any do's or don'ts?
I would go ahead and I would suggest do what my mother did when I was a little schwerling. I would go ahead and I would say, lock him in the basement for the day and no candy. Would you grow up to be a very wonderful, intelligent person just like me? If you have to go out, It's because you need to go ahead and go trick or treat. If you have to go out and do that, make sure you try to respect people's houses. If you want to egg them, that's fine too. But go ahead, respect them. They go get the candy and don't put your hand in the bowl. Have somebody hand it to you, like toss it, and make sure they're wearing gloves. Very important to wear gloves. And considering you wouldn't have to wear masks because wouldn't you be wearing a mask already?
Yes, most people will be wearing masks and some may be wearing makeup. So hopefully anyone who does dare to go trick or coveting, as you say, will take proper precautions and wear a mask.
So you got to be very cautious during these holiday seasons. You want to know what? I've also heard that, here's another thing that just came out.
Yes, more breaking news indeed.
All right. Once you go ahead, they say now during the other holiday that comes up, what's the Thanksgiving, that you're only allowed to have 6 people at the table. But you can have 30 people at a funeral. I'm going to go ahead this year and I'm saying I'm holding a funeral for my turkey.
Yeah. I said you on fire with gas and a lighter. You'll scream when I say I'll kill you that way. Sydney, my knife in the dark will reach to your heart. I'm Ghostface and I'll kill you that way. When you die, ain't nothing but a dream stay. When you die, ain't nothing like a crystal lake. Tell me why it's nothing but a sinking. I'll kill you that way.
The last person who wore that mask actually tried to kill me.
Yeah, that's why I used it.
Everybody has ghost stories, but comedians have been all over the place, and they have some really great stories and some really great ghost stories. So this is going to be the first of a few of comedian ghost stories. And to kick it off, we have Dave Landau. Check this one out. This is good.
I did, in fact, hear a ghost come through a radio and talk to his daughter, and then his daughter bawl her eyes out. And it was the scariest thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. We were at a house that was supposedly haunted to do a show for comics, but everything was being filmed downstairs, and I happened to just be hanging out upstairs. No cameras, no anything, and the only reason why the woman was there was to grab her keys. And this show had been on this house had been on 4 or 5 different haunted house shows. So she was just leaving when the radio turned on. And I even had that thought of they're just messing with me, right? This isn't, but I'm like, there's nobody recording me.
Right.
There's no reason to mess with me. And then I felt this cold chill and all the hair on the back of my neck stand up. And there was a presence in a room that I never felt before. And the ghost said, "I love you," through the radio. And it's the day that I knew that there's something beyond this earth. I don't know what it is, but it was using radio signals, and I know everybody's going to not believe me, but I will say it because I was there. I heard it, I felt it, and I watched a woman cry her eyes out. The daughter said, "Tell me something that only my dad would know." And it said, "Big boy." And she cried her eyes out. And I asked the husband, I was like, "What was that?" And he's like, "She wasn't very popular when she was a kid, so her dad would take her to Big Boy every Friday." I was like, "Oh, and I watched it. So there's something beyond us. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's an energy. I don't know if it's biblical. I just know something goes on farther than we think. I know for a fact. I know that sounds stupid and cocky, but it's true.
What's that I see on the TV? Put up, shut up, and stand up is on the TV. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. Don and Benny, they're awesome.
Well, it's Halloween time, so that means all the scary movies are coming out again. All the Friday the 13th, all the Freddy Kruegers, all the horror, scary stuff is all coming out. And if you're like me, you just don't like the horror movies. I'm not a big horror guy. I'm not a big horror movie buff, but I am a fan of movies and films. And comedian Nigel Fullerton, a good friend of the show, he's also a big film guy. So who better to talk about horror movies with? So I had a really great conversation, and this is me and Nigel talking about great horror films for Halloween. All right, everybody, we're here with the hilarious and good friend of the show, Nigel Fullerton. He has his own show, too, a podcast called The Murphy Monday.
Murphy Monday podcast.
His Murphy Monday podcast. We have Halloween coming up this week.
Oh, my God.
Halloween, I believe, is on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Now, so I'm just going to ask you.
I just recently watched the Halloween movie. I've never seen it. I've never been into scary movies, so like I recently watched it, and I don't see the hype. But
hello. All right, Annie. First I get your famous chewing, now I get your famous squealing.
The original Jamie Lee Curtis when she was young.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yes, I watched it. It was okay.
It was terrifying when I was a kid and I saw that movie. It was one of the first slasher films. It was before, I believe it was before Friday the 13th. It was before Freddy Krueger. It might not be before the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's got to be different watching it
now,
2020 versus 1978 or whatever that movie came out.
I mean, I try to watch it in the same sense of like, well, because I've watched similar movies. So like I've seen The Evil Dead, I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street, I've seen like, Jason movies. So like I understand it. The hype. And that's what I always get to. Like, I'm like, okay, great. Like, I'll see a movie that everyone's hyped up. Oh, Saturday Night Fever is the greatest movie ever. And I go watch this movie and I'm like, it's okay. Like, who watched the movie?
It is hard to, even if you try to put your head in that time period, like when you watch the movie, you go, okay, if it was 1970s, how would I take this movie in? But you still can't fully do that because you're in 2020. You've seen a million of these, or seen the parodies, and so it is hard. But
it's not that hard because, like, if you watch a movie, let's say you're a kid and you watch the movie The Goonies, right?
Yeah,
you didn't have to be there to get The Goonies. You just like The Goonies.
The Goonies holds up. The Goonies stands the test of time.
Yeah. Everything doesn't really hold up the way it should.
Right. Yeah.
And we praise things that are mediocre.
So sometimes I'd rather keep them in my memory. So movies like Halloween.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween, the original, probably in like 30 years, but it's great in my memory.
It's okay. I mean, when you compare it to A Nightmare on Elm Street, even I would say Friday the 13th, probably the third one, because that's when Jason actually came out.
Yeah, the Friday the 13th, the first one he came, didn't he show up at the end in the bottom of the lake? But yeah, those horror movies are guilty pleasures now, you know. And I just can't believe it took you, because you're a movie guy, you're a movie buff.
I'm a movie buff, but horror is not my genre. So
Right.
like when like I was scared of everything as a kid. So like if you're bringing like movies like, you know, the first Child's Play, I had a My Buddy doll. So like it didn't really like I wasn't really trying to watch that in real time. You know what I mean? Like
the My Buddy doll, yeah.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes.
When the movie Chucky came out, I threw my Buddy doll away because, like, listen, it might have been a killer.
You stupid bitch! You filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
That's hilarious, man. The My Buddy, and you know, you never know. It could have been a killer. Could have woke up in the middle of the night and just walked around the house.
Who knows? I just knew anything that was around my size and that could actually like look like I threw that away.
So I'm not a big horror movie, and I don't like the psychological horrors either, like Exorcist or any of those.
Exorcist.
Dude, if you're afraid,
for me,
Exorcist will mess you up, dude. It's
older scary movies scare you more than the newer ones. Like,
dude, like that one with Damon or Damien, whatever his name is.
The Omen.
Yeah, The Omen. That one. Oh my God, they both came out around the same time. Exorcist and The Omen when I was a kid.
Okay.
And dude, those are to me the scariest movies.
Yeah, they look scary, and I'm like, I'll pass.
those will mess you up.
Like that doesn't entertain me. Like I don't want to be scared to be entertained. Like, you know, I'd rather watch something else.
Is there any horror movies that you watch that you say this is a good film overall?
The Shining.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great one. Great
Shining
example.
is probably the best horror movie. I wish there were more people for him to kill in there.
Besides his own family?
Yeah, because like I find like you give them nothing to do when you don't have anybody else for him to kill.
You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in.
Right, yeah.
Kind of like those Annabelle movies. Like I watched the Annabelle movie for the first time, I think last year or this year. And
those
like,
are creepy.
But she never killed anybody.
Right. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How am I supposed to be scared if no one ever dies?
Well, Exorcist, I don't think she killed anybody.
I have a problem with that.
That movie's scariest, dude. That movie is the scariest freaking movie I've ever seen in my life. I've only seen it once. When I was
do that.
Yeah, you should. I'll suggest you watch it, but with a warning, you know, that this will mess you up. But
yeah, I believe it will. Like I heard, like there's a lot of like controversy behind it.
Dude, it will mess you up, and I'm talking from experience because Exorcist, I seen it one time. My cousin, who was a little older than me, kind of forced me to watch it. I was about 12 years old, and I watched this movie, and it was on VHS when he was like the first guy on the neighborhood to have a VHS, you know,
yeah.
And
was it Betamax or was it actual VHS?
It was actual. I believe it was actually, but it was the one with the pop and he closed it down. Oh yeah,
I remember those.
Yeah,
I remember those. I was like, this is weird and exciting.
Yeah, it was like, dude, like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Brief note: I was scared of ET as well. So
wow, yeah.
ET was not a darling for me.
Yeah, this will. Well, now you've, you know, all throughout the years, I still think that this movie's gonna be very scary. I think you should watch it though, especially as a movie guy, because it is a well-made movie, and it's one of the greatest horror movies ever made, perhaps.
Okay.
But it's terrifying, and I was forced to watch as a kid, and I can't even like see images of that girl's face.
Yeah, her face splits. Yeah.
It will resort me back to it'll bring me back.
I have faith. I have faith. You're such a little girl.
Your mother eats kitty litter.
So what?
Your mama eats kitty litter.
Don't nobody talk about my mama.
It's like I said, when I watched The Shining, like I had my little sister watch The Shining when she was 12 years old, because she said that, oh, I love scary movies. I'm like, the scary movies that you like aren't really scary. Like, it's a whole bunch of CG stuff. I said, There's a movie from like 1980, watch it. And she watched it, and like to this day, she's afraid of twins.
Play with us, Danny. Forever and ever.
She will not, like, she was watching Lovecraft Country and they had a scene where there was twins, and she's like, no, I can't. She like for a week she kept telling me like, you messed me up because of The Shining.
Red rum, red rum.
Red rum! Red rum! Red rum! Red rum! Stop it! Red rum! Red rum!
So your favorite horror movie is The Shining.
The Shining. Second to that is Nightmare on Elm Street. I find something scary about somebody killing you in your dreams. And it makes me cringe every single time when I think of, like, I was scared of it when I was a kid, because everybody during Halloween, they had those Freddy Krueger fingers, and like they would dress like it. Like it would scare, like I wouldn't want to go trick-or-treating at all. I would just stop. Like I would just stop. Like, why are you walking around like this killer dude that comes to me in my dreams? I think that's the scariest thing in the world.
That's great. So those are your two.
Two.
All right, that's a good two pick. That's good. I think those are two honorable horror.
For someone who doesn't like watch horror, like.
I believe in spirits. I definitely do. Because I'll give you a quick example. I had a couple of experiences years ago, right, with some Native American people. The first time I was in Stamford, Connecticut, doing a movie like 18 years ago. I was just laying in bed. It was my day off from the film, right? I was just chilling out where they had me staying, right? All of a sudden I felt this feeling. I'm like, oh no. It was like sad, not anger towards me or hostility, but sadness and grief. And they let me feel it, right? And I just felt it, right? And I asked somebody, there was an older guy up there, he goes, oh no, the Native people lived here a long time ago. I'm like, whoa. And then probably about a year later, I was up in Mohegan Sun doing a gig with Nick DiPaolo, right? And I'm laying in bed, before the show, and I felt this strong, and this is even stronger presence, right? The Native that came to me, this was like a war chief or warrior, really heavy duty, like showman, medicine man, or like war chief, like highly respected member of the tribe, right?
Wow.
He wasn't angry either, right? And what the crazy thing is, I have friends that have Native American blood that are fully Native, and you know what they told me? I might have some myself. And I go, why? They go, first of all, they said they wouldn't open up to white people like that. They would never do that in a million years, right? They said you must have some in your blood, and then they recommended I go to a powwow, you know what I mean, become friends with the elders, and maybe they, became close enough to bring me to a sweat lodge, and they would know by that ceremony, right? It was scary because when the first time I had an experience with them, they let me feel their sadness. It was horrible. They let me know they were devastated. But they weren't angry at me about me. They let me know how they felt, right? They had no hostility towards me whatsoever, right? He wasn't angry either. And I'm surprised because, a war chief or a showman weren't usually peaceful people. You know what I mean?
You know, every year everybody likes to get dressed up and partake in Halloween festivities, but don't really know what Halloween's all about. What's its origins? Where did Halloween begin? What does it mean? Well, I'm here to tell you. Halloween is a holiday celebrated each year on October 31st, and Halloween 2020 will occur on Saturday, October 31st. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, where people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor all the saints. Soon, all the saints incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain. The evening before was known as All Hallows' Eve, and later Halloween over time. Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festive gatherings, and donning costumes and eating treats. So yes, wear your costume to ward off ghosts and goblins. And remember, trick or COVID, everybody!
How you doing? Monty Belligerent here. You see what's coming up? Halloween. I call it Hell-oween. Damn kids coming up to my door, knocking on the door all the time. I tell them I give them Smarties from 2012. That's what I got. I got candy from 3 years ago. I don't try to scare them. I just say, get the hell out of here. Trick or treat. What are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do about it. They don't dress up. They don't wear no masks. Last year, 3 kids came to my door dressed as illegal immigrants. I ran out of candy, so I gave them free health insurance. They broke my fence. Little bastards. I gotta build a wall. I hate when they knock on the door during dinner. I'm eating my dinner and they're knocking and ringing the bell. You know what I do? I wait till I finish my dinner and I open the bag. They say trick or treat. I empty the rest of my plate into the bag. There you go. There you go. Fatty scraps. Pork and beans. Happy Halloween. This year we got the COVID, so maybe we won't have as many trick-or-treaters. I'm going to throw them at them. They're going to come there, they're going to say, oh, stop there. Stop there, and I'm going to throw M&Ms. Not the whole bag. I'm going to take one M&M at a time and just hit them. Bing, bing, bing. Hold out your pumpkin there, your pumpkin thing, and I'll try to get it in. 2 points. If it bounces off your head, that's like a backboard. The hell with Halloween. The hell with it. What are you gonna do? Monty Belligerent.
Should Halloween be canceled?
In general, yes. You don't need a pandemic to cancel that stupid fucking holiday. If the listener, if you don't know, Halloween is by far the worst day of the year to try to do stand-up. Nobody wants anything because Halloween is an all about you day. I'm gonna fucking dress up like a whore and a pirate and whatever, and I want everyone to look at me. And you don't want to pay attention to someone else. You want people paying attention to you. And I remember doing Halloween shows back when I had to. I had someone who'd come in dressed up as fucking Austin Powers or something, gorilla suit, right front row center. And I would always demand no one on the bill address the fucking guy. He's going to the comedy show. Yeah, I'm in a fucking gorilla suit. They're going to have so much fun with me. Don't even mention them. Don't mention the gorilla. Just let him sit there and fucking sweat in that suit. He can't even fucking drink through it. He's spilling shit down his fucking mask. Yeah, for nothing. You just lost like 40 pounds of sweat and no one ever fucking said a word to you.
Oh, that's awesome. When was the last time you dressed up for Halloween and what were you?
Oh, I'd rather not say. It's probably almost probably 27 years ago in Tri-Cities in Washington. And I went up on stage as Aunt Jemima. So, yeah, I won't be holding a position on a Supreme Court anytime soon.
What's the scariest movie ever?
Wow. I don't remember the last time I was scared at a movie. But, fuck, I can't remember. When I was a kid, I know I read the Amityville Horror. Movie wasn't nearly as good, but I remember I read that book when I was probably 12 or 11 or something. I slept in my brother's room for a week.
It's right here on Long Island too, Amityville. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Is there Halloween candy? It's not like Easter candy.
Well,
Halloween candy is just regular candy, but fucking snack size.
Right. Like those candy corns and stuff like that. Do you have any opinion on candy?
I like candy corn occasionally. I'm a gummy guy. That's what started me doing edibles. I'm like, fuck. I accidentally took. I think I ate 3 because I was just cleaning. I was actually doing sober October, trying to, a couple of years ago, and so I was just fucking out of my tit. It's like not drinking and fucking not smoking. You might as well be doing coke because you ain't sleeping. And so I was cleaning up in the fun house, and someone left a bag of peach gummy rings that were weed. I didn't know it, so I just fucking started eating them while I'm cleaning the place out. And she goes, those are weed, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck. But yeah, I had a good time, so I've been dabbling in those quite a bit.
Yeah. So let's go. I've got a few more here. Are space aliens living among us?
No.
All right.
I'd love to believe. I really... And if you ask the well younger me, I'd probably say yes, just because I hope they do. And I still hope they do, but no.
And finally, are ghosts real? And have you ever seen any?
No, I've never seen a ghost. But yeah, when you asked about the movie, I've watched some movies where I wasn't scared, but once I shut it off and I realized I'm alone in a quiet house, yeah. Get some pea shivers.
I never believed in ghosts, but I had an experience when I lived in the Hollywood Hills where I felt something. So never believed in it, but I think they do exist. I was dating this woman who was a total headache, and we argued all the time. And I was done, and I told her to go home. I can't do this anymore, and I went to sleep, and I was waking up. It was like someone with strong hands had me by the shoulders and was bouncing me on the bed. And I opened my eyes, and there was nobody there. And then once the bouncing stopped, I jumped up immediately and went to the kitchen to get some water. And I stood there and just like looked at the door of the room, and went back in, and it wasn't a dream, and something shook me. So yeah, I would say that was my experience.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. Wait.
It started on Division Ave, right inside of Gov's, a stand-up comedy contest that you're certain to love. It's got Don as the host, the Gagutsa for roasts. In its first season, Mandy Jones won the most. Switched it up a bit due to the quarantine. Now it's got interviews, skits, songs, variety. I swear I'm gonna put it in a song that I write about Susu on Saturday night. We all know Benny is an Italian, but did you know that Don is an Englishman? Don't know why I'm singing about nationalities when I know that you just wanna laugh at that hilarious Pasusu.
Well, that's the show for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the Halloween special. I know I did. I wish Benny Gagoots Rizzuti could have been here, but I believe he is out trick-or-treating right now, or doing pranks or toilet papering someone's house. I'm really not 100% sure what he's doing, but God bless him. I love the guy. And he'll definitely be back with us next week. He just happens to not really like Halloween. He doesn't like to dress up in costumes. He doesn't like Zorro. And he definitely doesn't like Cardi B.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet and cushy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet and cushy. I'm talking WAP.
But that is the show for today. And I want everyone to please subscribe to our YouTube page at Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up. It's youtube.com/Put Up, Shut Up, Stand Up. Go on there, check it out, see what we got. Full interviews of all the comedians are on there, including the full interview with Tom Rhodes that you saw tonight. Also, full interview with Dave Landau, full interview with Mike Pachetti, and the full interview with Joe Matarese is coming up probably on next week's show or the show after that. So stay tuned. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun surprises. And again, we appreciate you guys. Have a happy and safe Halloween. And remember to go trick or COVID. See you guys. Peace.